I started from a place of being truly addicted to social media, and I also come from a place of social media addiction running in my family. So I'm going to show you how to get off your phone if you too are also addicted. But if you don't feel like you're addicted and you just don't like how much screen time you are giving to your phone, I'm going to show you how to just get off social media. Doesn't matter whether you're addicted or whether you just want to cut down on your screen time. I'm going to help you out, and we're going to get through this together. Because here's the thing. I am going to tell you about some amazing tips that have helped me truly and 100% get off my phone. And if you want to see my personal journey, you can watch my first video, which hopefully I will learn how to link up here somewhere. This is my second YouTube video. So, teehee. And you can, it kind of goes through a more in-depth on my journey of how I've gotten off of social media, some of the frustrations that I have with social media, and just kind of like some more discussions on social media. This is going to be going over all the tips and actually how I genuinely got off of my phone. What I want to be very clear about is that this is not just some video that's like, you can just do these tips and fix everything. This is hard work, and again, in my first video, I kind of show that. I show my progress, but I'll tell you right here, this is taking me about 1.5 to 2 year journey to get where I am today, where I'm completely off social media, and it has freed up my life drastically in ways that I don't even think that I had consciously realized social media had messed up for me until I got off and realized so many different ways that social media was messing up my life. But I do want to make this very clear that it is not easy, especially if you're to the point where you're addicted to social media, because you literally have $1 billion industry putting in countless amounts of resources and time and energy and money into grabbing and holding your attention. And they're really good at it. That's why if you're addicted, you're addicted. That's why social media addiction is a thing. It's not easy, and it takes time, and healing is never linear. So I want you to know going into this isn't instant gratification, which I think what's really annoying. Our phones teach us to only accept instant gratification. And I'm telling you that this is the beginning of a journey for you where not everything is instant gratification, where things take time. And truly, like I said in my first video, things that take time are so beautiful. That's how we make art. And art is easily one of the best reasons we as humans get to live and experience this world. So trust me, this journey is so worth it. It's one of the reasons why I just started a YouTube channel. There's so many different reasons, but yeah. So what I want to go through with you is specifically why I made a transition from short form to long form content, because I still use YouTube. I still watch YouTube. I also use Pinterest as well. Because Pinterest is not a highly addictive social media. If I consciously choose, hey, I want to get off of this, I can get off of it. Or if I consciously chose, I want to get off of Instagram, it took me like 3 hours. I also just want to be very clear that it's frustrating. And if you're frustrated, you can use that emotion and help power yourself through getting off of social media. And if you feel ready and want to accept this challenge, I have a challenge for you for watching this video. I feel like a lot of us who have short attention spans, due to the way that social media is, we have a hard time watching long form content. And I don't do any kind of crazy editing in my videos. I just am mostly taking out the ums and the buts and the ha's. So if you can and you want to accept this challenge, watch this entire video without also scrolling on your phone, without also scrolling through the comments or anything like that. Just watch this video. Now, here's the thing. That can genuinely be difficult even for me sometimes, right? Because sometimes I just need an extra stimulus. I also have ADHD. So sometimes watching a full video through, especially if you're at the point where you are still very addicted and like need some dopamine, what I recommend is pair watching this video all the way through with something else. Maybe you need a stretch. maybe you need some water, maybe go make yourself some breakfast or get yourself some food. Maybe just sit up and start noticing your surroundings while you're also listening to the video. Another way, you could take notes while you're watching this video to keep yourself engaged. Do something minor to help yourself stay engaged in the video. But if you are able to complete this challenge, stay to the end of the video and make sure to comment, and I will personally like and or comment to celebrate with you for completing the challenge. Okay, so now let's get into the juicy bits. How did I actually get off my phone and stay off my phone? Also, I kind of forgot to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Lavender, and this is my second YouTube video. My channel is called Unapologetically Me, where we stay consistently me, but we change up the topic of what we're talking about just about every single video. So if you like the vibes, please do seriously consider subscribing. It would mean the absolute world to me, especially since I'm brand new. If you can like this video, again, huge deal for me, especially since it's like literally my second YouTube video, and any comment I will personally read because, again, you're literally here at the beginning, babe. Give yourselves a round of applause. So thank you. Thank you for literally any support. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I really do hope that these tips help you out. So let's continue on. Okay, so some of my first tips are really basic. I'm starting with you kind of if you're at the point of being addicted or you're really connected to your screen and you just need some tips that are just going to help you get started on your journey. Personally, something that you can do that's very easy, start fixing your attention span while you're on social media. You can literally just start watching the videos all the way through. A lot of us tend to just scroll through and da-da-da-da-da, and you can start watching the videos all the way through. You'll also hear about an additional tip in my first video that's kind of talking about how a different way to process your social media too that could possibly be really helpful. Other things that you can do is just start trying to watch more long form content in general. You could start listening to audiobooks or podcasts. Those can help you kind of still have something on in the background while you're doing something else, because I still get it. I definitely need music in order to still be doing stuff. Silence is still sometimes kind of hard. It's something that I've definitely gotten way better at, but especially when you're first starting off, I definitely still feel like I needed something in the background. Even if you don't want, you could just do instrumentals or lo-fi. You can start adjusting your own algorithm. If you start fully watching the videos through and you're like, I don't know why I'm watching this, you can just hit not interested. Make sure you are not reporting or detrimenting the person creating the content. If it's AI, report that shit. But don't penalize the content creator. Make sure that you're personally just hitting I'm not interested, or just then you start learning, oh, I don't like this person, and then you can scroll by because you're like, oh, I didn't like watching that. You can also just do other long form content like TV shows, movies, and then also make sure that you're not also watching short form content while you're watching your long form content. But again, if you have to do that for a little while to eventually get into something that's long form, take your time. Healing is never linear. I also recommend the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is turn off all the notifications. Bestie, I have so many opinions on the notifications because genuinely one of the things that I find really frustrating is that they added DMing to Instagram. And then you have your notifications on, so you get a notification from your bestie, and you're like, well, obviously I need to respond to that. But what have you just done? Gone onto the social media, and then you lose another 5 hours. That's not cute. That's not fun. So truly, turn those notifications off. Start telling your friends, hey, I'm going to take longer to respond to you if you send something on Instagram. Text me, or, I'm at the point where people are like, hey, can I have your Instagram? I'm like, I'm sorry, I only do my regular cell phone. I only do my regular phone number at this point. I'm sorry. Because getting on Instagram eventually just became I literally can't do this because it's just not worth it anymore. Okay, and then one of my absolute favorite tips that I kind of gained from this journey of mine is that when you're watching long form content, you're streaming TV shows and all this kind of stuff, they have the autoplay feature, right? Or even on YouTube as well, they have the autoplay feature. And as I began to regain my attention span, I just eventually got so pissed when my show would end and it would auto replay 5 seconds later. I'm like, bestie, what the fuck? I just finished this. Give me some time to process. Give me some time to like listen to the cute little credit song. Give me some time to like see the little doodles that the like cast painted into like the pictures at the end of the credits. And like maybe there's a bonus scene at the end that I'm gonna miss without watching these credits through. Like I became obsessed with giving myself time to process. And if it didn't give me time to process, I genuinely got pissed. And so I have turned off all of the autoplays on all streaming services because now it gives me some time also to come into my own body and go, hey, is it getting late? Like, I think I'm actually ready to go to bed now. I don't want to watch another episode. Or, hey, I just realized I need to run to the restroom, or I'm really thirsty, or I need a snack, or it gives me time to like be like, hey, I need to go throw this laundry in the dryer real quick, like, and then I'll get back to my show. Now in this next section, we're going to discuss how to start working on getting off of your phone. So, or some of these like preventative tips that are going to help you out. So number one, like I said, the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is turn off all of your social media notifications, because now they're not going to be asking you to get on the apps, because when they ask you to get on the apps and you end up getting on the apps, that's not going to be good for you, bestie. So turn off all your notifications. You're trying to get to the point where it's like, I'm only trying to get on there if I consciously choose I want to get on here. Now, here's the funny thing that was very interesting to discover along this journey. You no longer are receiving notifications from the apps, right? You start receiving notifications from your brain. You start getting notifications that pop up in your head that are like, oh my gosh, I need to go check XYZ. Let me go do that real quick. Real quick does not usually happen. So you then have to fight the notifications that pop up in your own head that also tell you to get on your phone. So that's always very fun. But I'm just warning you, this is what happens. At least it's what happened with me. Also, one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself, hopefully I'm going to go ahead and show you some graphics of this app that I use. This app is called Stay Free, and it's truly one of the best apps that I used. I will also put on the screen to let you know if it's available on Apple. I have Android. I know that it's on Android. Stay Free is fantastic because they have these features where you can turn off Reels on Instagram. You can turn off YouTube Shorts. Dude, because I'm still using YouTube, I only want to be using YouTube for the long form content. I do not want to be using it for Shorts. Shorts are, again, just as addictive as all the other short form content. And so the fact that I can have the YouTube app on my phone, the only reason I can have it on my phone is because this app blocks my ability to use the shorts. So it is literally a godsend. So I highly recommend. And then also what's really nice is if you have Snapchat, you can also turn off the Reels or whatever they're called on there too. You can turn them off. And basically any of the social medias. What's really nice is that I think this is a new feature for Stay Free, is that Instagram, you could block stories, but I think then they have a new feature where you can turn off Reels. And so that could be incredibly beneficial as well. They also have a feature that's really helpful. When you're addicted though, you can, what's really annoying and what I want to stress is that when you're addicted, you'll pass through anything. You have a block on your phone, you're like, I don't care. Which is so fun and so annoying. But they do have some additional block systems where you have to write out a full paragraph in order to block it, to unblock it. So like, it takes you some time. Sometimes I know that did benefit me. And I was like, hey, this is giving me some time to process and be like, no, actually, I didn't want to go on here. Sometimes I was in the state of being addicted and I was like, and it didn't matter. But I know that other times it really did help me and it gave me that extra step in order for my brain to go, wait a second, I didn't want to be on here. So highly recommend installing Stay Free or some additional apps. Some of these include Minimalist Phone. Again, I'll let you know if that's on Android or iPhone. Minimalist Phone was absolutely fantastic. I think that's what I started doing at the beginning of my journey, because you don't realize how much the colors and like you knowing exactly where to click on the apps and it becoming such an insane habit for yourself. Minimalist Phone is a great way to start your journey, truly, because it just has, you can just put, here's what I really want my phone for. I just want messages and my Spotify, like, and then have that on your screen. And then you have to physically scroll and find where your thing is. And it's a lot less easy for you to automatically just accidentally end up on the app. So truly, apps like that are fantastic. I also know another fantastic product that you could use is, I've heard about the Brick. I have not personally used the Brick, but it's a great tool because you're forced to get up and leave a location and go somewhere to unlock your phone. If you don't want to spend money on the Brick, truly just locking your phone into or just like putting your phone out of sight is another fantastic way to be like, no, I'm putting this to the side. I know that at one point, Target was doing these like little cheap phone lock boxes, and I got one of those, and then I got too anxious to actually put my phone in because I was like, what if I need it for something that's not not like, what if I need it to text somebody, or what if somebody calls me and it's like locked in there, which I think could be a really beneficial use for the Brick, because then you've kind of locked your phone. I also think something that was really important that I learned as I was going through this journey is the fact that there are certain times during the day that tend to be worse for me. For example, morning times were that time for me. And I think at some point, night times kind of were, but I think it wasn't necessarily that night times were hard for me. I think it was that once I got on an addictive form of social media, I had a really hard time stopping. But once I was able to take those addictive social media off of my phone, night times didn't become as much of an issue. It made me realize that mornings were the issue, because mornings are like where I'm not a morning person. I don't want to get out of bed. It can end up like, even to a point still today, I still struggle with mornings, like just feeling like I just could watch YouTube all morning and I just don't want to get out of bed. And maybe this has a little bit to do with some of the seasonal depression I experienced this past year, but we don't need to talk about that. But yeah, basically my main point here is that it can be really important using apps like Stay Free or whatever app that you feel like is beneficial for yourself. It can be really beneficial to put blocks on certain times of the day that you know are really rough. So if you end up, like at the beginning of my journey, I don't remember how I did this, but definitely putting a block on the nighttime, being like, no social media use allowed after a certain time, because then I would actually get sleep. And same for the mornings. I still have a block on my mornings. I have a block on Pinterest, and so that I can not end up scrolling Pinterest too long, just because, again, in the mornings, I tend to just want to wake up and like my brain doesn't have the energy. It just wants to scroll. And so it's also something that I'm still working on to try and figure out ways to find activities that I can do with zero brain power that like still helps wake me up. That's still a struggle we're dealing with. But I still have a morning block, so that hopefully I can get out of bed a little bit easier. I also think that a really beneficial thing that you can work to achieve is not picking up your phone within the first 30 minutes. And truly, that one's hard. Like when you first wake up in the morning, try not to pick up your phone for the first 30 minutes. And 30 minutes truly might be too long. I think there's definitely a way there's like levels to this. It could be that you're just, whenever you pick up your phone, you're just waiting like 15 minutes and then you can get on social media or something like that. Then it's 30 minutes and then you can get on social media. Like maybe you can use the rest of your phone, but you're trying to curb opening up social media immediately because then your morning is gone. But trying to block off those first 30 minutes of your day and even the last 30 minutes of your day can be really beneficial. I know that because I tend to have a physical symptom of feeling like brain fogginess, that getting on my phone the first thing in the morning can be really detrimental to me, because then I just end up starting my day just feeling foggy. So I try to stay off my phone. The only thing that I usually do is I try to stay at least 15 minutes off my phone completely, is the place where I am now. And then usually then between like the first 15 and 30 minutes a week, all I'm trying to do is just check any texts that I have, because I always want to respond to those when I wake up. And then what's really nice about my mornings now, for the most part, I spend the first 30 minutes just waking up. And it's amazing. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, those first 30 minutes to my day are sacred at this point. Like, and so because it is genuinely hard to get off the apps, I have also built up some tools of how to exit the app. One thing that can really help me is sometimes I need something to bring me into the awareness of where I currently am. If you have the ability to, if you're on your phone, just simply start noticing the things around you and going, oh, wow. You can do like the typical thing, if you've ever heard this, notice 5 things you can see. But just noticing your surroundings is one thing that you can do. I know that something that personally helps me is sound. So if I turn on some music and I start listening to that, and I'm like, I want to get up, I want to dance to this music, it's going to help me start focusing on the music instead of the things that I'm scrolling. And my brain, hopefully, eventually will get bored and go, I'm not interested in this anymore. I want to sing my Broadway songs at the top of my lungs. I also think that something that's really beneficial to help you get off your phone as well is if you have the access to a record player, put on a vinyl or a record is actually really beneficial, because especially once you've started gaining your attention, because it can force you into some movement, because you put the record on and then you have to flip it, and so you have to get up and go flip it. I also think that it's really beneficial because once you start to gain that attention span, sometimes you actually end up wanting some moments of silence, because you start to realize that all you've been doing is just consuming so much noise. But you need that stimuli to get you off of your phone, so you start listening to music, but then that vinyl finishes and you get silence. And then the final section is how to stay off your phone. And I feel like this is truly one of the hardest parts, because when you lose your attention span, you lose your ability to be present, because you've just been filled with so much noise and so much just everything that it can be really hard to be present. And honestly, being present is just a hard thing to do in general, but your attention span being hijacked like that really doesn't make it any easier. So then comes the most exciting work and some of the hardest work, to just start enjoying your life again and start doing the things that you've wanted to do, start the big project that you wanted to start on. And truly, one of the things that can also be unfortunate is that I feel like you can have a lot of fear associated with doing the things that you wanted to do. And we kind of ended up using our phones as like a way to disconnect from that discomfort. Basically, what I would recommend is don't try to start off with the thing that you've really been wanting to do and you're super excited for, but also brings you a lot of discomfort and fear. I would say go for the things that you just really want to do and you're very excited for, and it just feel easy and just feel exciting and you're just excited to go do it. And then take the time and the energy to start fighting for the stuff that you really want to do in your life. And if you're ready to start fighting for the stuff you really want to do, go for it, baddie. I am not stopping you. I'm just saying that that can sometimes trigger you back into the social media addiction a little bit more easily than something that's super easy for you to do already. I think one of the craziest lessons that I've learned from this whole experience, and this definitely has taken me a lot of time, and it's also correlated to a lot of other factors in my life, But something that I've always been afraid of is feelings, which is a very normal human response. Feelings can be a lot, they can be a lot to deal with. But something that I've learned is I also have a job that supports this now where I'm not constantly in fight or flight. Having the space to process things as they come up is so luxurious, and it's such an incredible privilege that I now have the space for in my life. Because being able to like process stuff, and I will say that's also something that can happen during this journey as well, is like you stop using this as a crutch for your discomfort and you have to start dealing with the stuff that you haven't dealt with. And dealing with a big buildup of stuff can be a lot. And also, highly recommend get yourself a therapist, girl. I love working with a therapist. She helps me like talk through things and like just helps me feel like I can make different choices than choices I would have made in the past. Like, it's just so good to like talk things through with someone who can be a third person perspective. And like, if one of the reasons why you've been on your phone and trying to ignore discomfort is because you have something that's really serious and you need to talk through it, find someone to talk through it. I hope that you have the resources that you need in order to get the help that you deserve. And I know that there are programs um, everywhere, including sometimes at your work, that include free therapy sessions or whatnot. So check out that. You can also genuinely go into your local library. You would not believe the amount of services that they have. My sibling worked at a library for a while, and I learned that the library has so many different like resources for the community that I just never realized. So if you're looking for something and you need some support, go ask your local library. They can actually probably help you out. I also think this is 100% the time for you to start romanticizing your life. Dude, romanticizing your life is so much fun. I love romanticizing my life. Like, I also just think that, like, being grateful for what you do have, what you do love in your life can bring you so much joy. And it's such a, like, more grounded joy than the quick dopamine that you're getting from social media. Like, honestly, like, just writing a list of stuff that you're grateful for, or truly the way that I do it is just throughout the day, like noticing things that I'm grateful for and just like thanking whatever deity or religion that you believe in for all that you're grateful for. Another thing that you can do, watch long form content like YouTube videos. If you're not at the stage where you can get off of social media yet, that's something that I loved doing. Was I would like watch YouTube videos inspired by what I want my life to look like. And if you can start learning from other people about where you want to go, it can start rewiring your brain and start like, yeah, maybe you're not off of social media yet, but you're starting to imagine and envision what your life is going to look like. Because you got to envision where you want to get before you can get to where you want to get. Also, just like spending time with friends, trying to connect with people. That's some of my favorite stuff. I am an avid social butterfly, and I have been putting together so many different social gatherings for my friends. That's my own personal thing. If that's not your thing, again, like hobbies, crafting. I've also loved scrapbooking. I have a whole little setup right here. You can't see it, but she's gorgeous. Also, something that I really want to drive in. This is another really important tip. And I think just life lesson in general. Having a great life takes work. It is not easy. I think there's this like train of thought that's like, oh, like if it's amazing, it should just be easy. A great life takes hard work, just like a horrible life also takes work. It's just what kind of work are you putting in and where are you dedicating your energy to? And so I hope that you will do the work and take the time to create a great life because you deserve it. And yeah, I know that another thing is that progress will probably feel slow, but you're going to be fixing your attention span and you're going to get there. You're going to get there just like I did. I trust and believe that you will. This book right here, I actually listened to in the form of an audiobook, and it would be a great way to start your journey as well. This book will genuinely help you understand why you're not the problem and why this is like a cultural issue and why like our phones are genuinely so toxic and so frustrating and incredibly difficult to get off, and why they are addictive and why they just suck. And like, yeah, again, I listened to this in the audiobook. It's a really good version because it is read by the author. I really enjoy it when books are read by the author. I also had the physical copy, and I just found it really interesting. It really helped me kind of ground me into realizing, because again, I feel like there's this like push to put it on the individual, like, oh, you just got to fix your screen time. And it's like, no, this is hard because you have billion-dollar industry hijacking your attention. That's not just on you, babe. Okay, babe, guess what? You got to the end of the video. Slay. If you were here for the challenge, genuinely, I'm so proud of you. Even if you felt like you don't have an addiction to social media and you made it to the end of the video because you were like, I bet I could do it. Pop off, sis. You knew you could do it and you did it. And if you did this and you're like, dang, I know I'm addicted to social media, or maybe you did this and you realized you probably, this was your realization. You were like, damn, this was bad. Like, how do people focus? You're like, I think I've forgotten how to focus. Like, it could have been an awakening for you. It could have been like a, dang, like, and then maybe it didn't work out. Maybe you tried the challenge and it didn't work out. And you know what? That's okay too, because you learned something. You learned something about where you're at. That's truly what I'm hoping. If you decided to accept this challenge, you learned something about yourself. And now you can take that information and go from there. So even if you didn't complete this challenge, but you attempted it, I want you to comment that you attempted the challenge and that you learned something new. And tell me what you learned. I would genuinely love to hear. If you completed this challenge and you aced it, girl, period, go comment Magic the Unicorn. Okay. And you know what? For completing the challenge, you get a fun little bonus story. This is Magic the Unicorn. She has been my microphone, my helper today. And actually, so I have always loved creating content, but I've always been afraid of creating my own content. And so, and posting it. So I have so much content. And one of the things that I used to do when I was younger was I used to make content with my Beanie Boos. And this is Magic. And she specifically was my LOL, literal technical difficulty with my stage manager right by my side. Anyway, so this is Magic, and she was basically my stage manager for all of my content that I created. And I have these really cool stop motions of her in the background taking care of, because I used to do what I called Beanie Boo News, and they would report on all the crazy drama that all the stuffed animals were doing and all the drama that was going down. And so, yeah, she was the stage manager of that show. And so I have this stop motion of her getting the crew ready for BBN, aka Beanie Boo News. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being here on my journey, on my second YouTube video. And again, if you would comment, if you like the vibe, subscribe. Ooh, bonus thing that I probably should have said a little bit earlier. If you have any questions, comment them. And then I'm debating, if I get enough reactions to this and I get enough questions, I'll make a Q&A and I'll make a third video about this. Or if I come up with anything, or if I get into some conversations that I feel like would be beneficial, I'll make another video about this topic. Otherwise, my next video is undetermined. But in theory, it'll be out in 2 weeks, and you'll get to hang out with me again. From here on out, we're just kind of hanging out and enjoying life together. And hopefully I can be a YouTube channel that you can put on in the background and start living your own life. We can live life together, babe. And I'm very excited for that. So I also would love to do a YouTube video that helps you get out of doom scrolling. So if that sounds like a good idea, let me know and I'll also post that video. So again, thank you so much for watching my second YouTube video. My name is Lavender. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful week, and good luck on your digital detox journey. I love you so much, and thanks for watching this video. Bye. Why, hello everyone, and welcome to my second YouTube video. What can we say? I definitely procrastinated recording this because I'm still afraid. That's it. Just relax, babe. Relax, 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 relax. It's okay. It's okay. Just breathe. Just breathe. You guys think I should do covers? I think so, actually. I have a great voice. But I'm pretending like I don't because it's scary. Can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I should just postpone. I'm not in the mood. You know what I mean? And now I'm making it worse. Okay. Like magic. Does she look pretty? Do I look pretty? What can we say?